10,
9, 8,
7,
6,
3,
2,
1.
0.
And we are back again. Once again, this is now the last matchup of Cycle 2 of Season 6. We've got a Walker Tour match for you today. NOC for the second time this afternoon, and Limbo for the first time this day in Walker Tour. Welcome. Once again, I'm Kastle, and I'm in the booth with Hush Speed, who joins us again.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
How's everyone's evening doing? I know you guys can't answer, but I'll ask anyways. Go ahead and toss in some comments, that type of thing, while we wait for the last two NOC players to top in.
Yep. From what? Make sure to check out the last match, NOC against Fire. Definitely some intense stuff going there.
Yep. I guess you could say it was fire.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways, without trying to avoid some spoilers, we had some pretty standout performances. Notably, Assassin King doing very well that last match. So we'll be looking for him to perform similarly well if he has continued to be warm up. Be an important part of NOC's gameplay, most likely. Also, Flash was another name that stood out to me. On the flip side, however, Limbo are probably, we're just discussing overall lineups, they are probably the more experienced team. They've been around, and almost every single name that you can see on Limbo's side is either a veteran or has been playing a little bit. Tally you'll find in pubs, as usual. Jay Retch, long-term captain for Limbo. Kraken is a name change. I remember, I know who it is, but I'm trying to remember what his name was last season.
I believe it was Hodge.
Hodge, that's right. Yep. So Kraken renamed from Hodge, and we've got Spud and not Juice. I'm assuming it's Juice, even though there's no I in that name.
Spud is a new Dash League player from what I know. Very
Oh, is he?
good player. Yeah, indeed. Shows very good promise. Watched a couple of matches where Limbo played. He did really good. But again, no spoilers. Go watch the previous matches. Really good ones.
A couple of names that I've seen from previously. I know Limbo has Hog Rider. I've been seeing Hog Rider a lot in pubs. Very strong player. Maybe we'll see him later on. Not in the lineups currently. We'll just have to keep an eye out. Some interesting names from Limbo not playing today, and Brontosaurus notably had a remarkable season last season. I remember a lot of excellent plays. Finished off their season 5 with 1.2 KD. I haven't seen him this season yet, so maybe some availability issues. Not sure where they're at, but definitely hoping to see some play this season from him. Other notable names missing from the Limbo lineup: Flat Dragon, previously playing on Black. We got Jughead, 2 matches last season and season 3, been around a while. Paladin Floor. All these names, I'm hoping Limbo is able to get them in. But
Yep.
they're new talent, nothing to scoff at. On the flip side, we've already mentioned Assassin King and Flash, but other names for NOC include C. McLovin, who's not here today. I've seen this guy around a lot, one of the captains. I want to say maybe a previous captain for NOC. That guy put in a lot of work from what I've seen in past streams. Not here today. Might join still. They've got time.
Yep.
One name that's missing is Hamshirt. It's a rename. Nevet player. I'm not sure where Hamshirt is. They top scored on their first matchup this season on both maps would be a really powerful addition to today's match. If they could get them in, or
Indeed.
perhaps it's a rename.
Well, I'm hoping
So
that.
man, it is so hard. It's so hard to follow names.
First
Yeah.
elimination.
Well, still waiting for those two NOC players. Hoping to see maybe Flash or McLovin, as you mentioned. Really, two great players, I should say.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Flash didn't get back in here. It could be they're charging their headsets. This
Perhaps.
match being so close to the last one, I wouldn't be surprised if their headsets are getting pretty low. I'm assuming they play West 2 primarily.
Oh, there we go. Bugahud.
HUD, one of the captains on NOC.
Actually, are they still captain?
I know there's been some leadership changes in NOC. Let me double
Perhaps.
check. Yeah, I was following some of their negotiations, and there were Bugahud, I remember, started the negotiations. Eventually ended up finishing off with Flash. Yeah, the negotiations for this matchup has been. Or no. I'm confusing this with their previous match, with Fire. This one was scheduled more simply. But currently, right now, captains are Bugahud and Flash.
Oh, okay, so
It was McLovin who was previously a captain. No longer. No, I'm getting this mixed up. Hold on. Let me try this again. Bugahud was previously the captain. Captain stepped down, demoted, however you want to see it. Current captains are McLovin and Flash. There we go.
I see.
Anyways, we are at about the 9-minute mark now, which leaves them only with 6 more minutes to get that 5th player in. Per the rules this season, changed from last season, all teams must start with 5 players, otherwise they forfeit that map. So they've got about 5 minutes before Limbo could potentially go ahead and ask force them to forfeit that first map, which would be really unfortunate.
Indeed, it would be very unfortunate. We really want to see NOC play this out.
I want to see this match, man. Yeah. These two teams, I would say, just from what I've seen and what I anticipate, this is going to be a good match. Played on Dallas, nice even pings for everyone.
Looks like there's not going to need to be a server switch, which is also good, because then it's an equal fight for both teams.
Absolutely.
Right. We're still waiting, but has chat anything to say? No.
Actual last comment. Hot in Dallas.
I cannot be the judge of
Nice.
that, but it may be. May be very hot in Dallas at the moment. Still waiting for that 5th player. I wonder if they're gonna show up or not. Or maybe they're making the use of time for that battery recharge from last match.
Yeah. But if they are, they're cutting it kind of close. I guess use whatever time they have now to do the pre-match discussions. In the meantime, we'll just chill, enjoy some music, and wait and see.
Yep, indeed. Looks like Limbo dropped a player, but they're probably going to join back unless they have... Oh, looks like they did. Maybe it was a connection.
So being the last match of the cycle, I think we briefly touched on this on the last cast, but the next matches for Cycle 3, Abyss and Volcano.
Yep.
One of the newest domination map. Both maps actually newest in their category, which really makes this next cycle, it's going to be very unique. This will be the first time this combination has ever been had. And I know a lot of teams are still very new on Abyss, and obviously with domination having just come out, there's going to be we could see some upsets here, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of what makes teams dominant is just the amount of sheer practice they have on whatever map that they've played on before. Hence why Launchpad right now has become such a consistent meta for teams, you know. They know the gameplay, but with Abyss, there's all these new positions, new routes that just haven't been established despite it being around for, I think I want to say about a year now. Still a lot to learn on that map comparatively. And of course, Volcano, I mean, I know personally, I've barely touched Volcano. I may have played it maybe 8 times in pubs, something like that. So
same. I haven't been playing Volcano a whole lot. Still gotta learn all those routes and efficient ways to getting to buttons and whatnot. But
yeah, there's a lot of efficiency. I suspect a lot of stumbling early on, but you know, people will catch on. It doesn't play too different than a few 3 levels. That's something to consider. And your dash is about, I want to say, 1 extra dash away as compared to Quarry and Waterway. So it's a little bit more extended, not quite as easy access, you know. Not too different.
and a lot of variety as well. Very many ways to get into B and then into the enemy space.
True.
But I must say the aesthetics of both maps are very pleasing and beautiful.
And you gotta love the contrast, water and fire. You know, when I first heard of this, I thought that was gonna be a fiery map. So imagine my surprise when, lo and behold, it was under the sea.
Indeed. But again,
We're at 1 minute left remaining before this has to happen. And if it doesn't,
maybe a forfeit, unfortunately. Has NOC forfeited?
if they do forfeit the first one, it'll be a map forfeit, in which case they could potentially ask for another 10 minutes and push this into a second map. Really depends on how soon they get this 5th player in.
Let's hope that we will see them in the next couple of seconds.
They get extremely close.
Would be a real shame.
And there it is, the 15-minute mark. Time is over. The period of peace is done. That is if Limbo chooses a map forfeit force. So I think we see some movement here.
Anything?
I'll move around with my camera here and signal. We need to see Panda's probably off his headset trying to contact people.
Looks like Limbo is ready, but NOC still is not
Yeah.
ready.
It used to be last cycle you could actually start with 4v5. It happened quite a bit, and unfortunately that also led to a lot of stops. So moving it from this, we prefer more evenly matched startups. A little more pressure on getting teams to get their full rosters. That being said, NOC has already forfeited once this season, which means this is their second. If they don't show up within the next 10 minutes for the second map, and Limbo forces this forfeit, we're looking at a double forfeit from NOC and a potential discussion from the board about forcing the team to disband, or at least sit out the rest of the season. You know, players put in a lot of time to make sure they can show up to these matches. That's why the scheduling requirements are so strict. You want to respect people's time.
Indeed.
Hello, Tali.
respecting people's time is very.
Yep. Telly giving the signal that this is past time. It'll ultimately be up to them whether or not they want to. Oh, Venom going back. Sorry. I'm looking at some roster changes. Looks like Venom heads back to Loop. He was previously on Envy. So that was a big roster change.
Oh, I wonder why.
Exciting stuff too. I'm not sure. Maybe he missed his old teammates.
Perhaps.
don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. I would say this does strengthen Loop quite a bit.
Yeah, they needed that.
Loop already looking extremely powerful this season, and with the addition of Venom.
Yeah, the more firepower, the merrier. Also, if you haven't already checked out the last match, Loop versus who was it? UNSC, I think. Wait, I have to double check this. 1 second.
Other.
Oh, Other.
Loop versus Other. Yeah.
Yeah. Make
Won't
sure.
spoil it for anyone, but that happened today. It's a good one.
Very good one.
Should check that out. Especially since the two other players from last season are now on Loop. But a potential grudge match there.
Always good to see a good match. But
Unlike this one, which we're not seeing a good match because it's not happening. Oh, we're seeing J-Retch doing some stretches. Maybe here, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna see if I can get them up here. Trying to signal them to go up. The boys is asking. NOC they do not have their 5th player. Some availability issues going on here.
very unfortunate to see, especially that NOC played the last match. Nice pun, Dashel. Oh, this is so unfortunate. I really wanted to see this match happening, but doesn't seem to be quite happening.
Knock knock, anybody home? And then Michael Diamond with the response you can see on screen. Oh, and it looks like they have their 5th. NOC with their 5th player in. Oh, but man, a little late. We'll have to see if this means they forfeit the first map or not. Send a DM to J-Retch to see what's gonna happen.
I wonder who that player is.
I don't know. I don't know what map they're gonna choose, whether or not Limbo will force this or not. We'll have to see what map they start out with. So for anyone that's just joining now, not sure what's going on, NOC has outweighted the wait time for the first map. They get 15 minutes from the scheduled time to when the first map has to start. If the team does not have those 4 by the time the map starts, that's forfeit for whatever map they've waited on. 15 minutes for the first map, and then 10 minutes for every subsequent map.
Looks like NOC has their 5 players, but Limbo, where's Limbo?
Yeah, what happened with Limbo?
It's like they did a coin flip.
Now we're waiting on Limbo. I guess if we're into the second buffer phase, then man, I don't know. This is strange.
Very strange. But maybe with patience, we will see a match happening soon, hopefully.
You know? Oh man, what could happen if for some reason NOC, let's say Limbo did force the forfeit on NOC on the first map, and then they have the 5. Limbo does not pull in their 5 for the second map. That technically, I suppose, means they forfeit this. Not Limbo would now forfeit their map, giving it a 1-1 based on forfeits, which means all of this would boil down to a single control point. I think that's what could happen. And if that does, that would be the first time in Dash League history I've ever seen something like this. That would be crazy.
But looks like Limbo.
That being said, Flat Dragon hopping in. Already mentioned that name from earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. Good addition to Limbo.
Come on. Really want to see this match happening. I think it will be very intense. But I do wonder if this is gonna go to a quarry immediately or a payload canyon. But let's see and find out.
Oh, and there's Towley.
Oh, they got their 5th.
You know, this lineup may be... I think this might be their domination lineup, in which case they did force the first forfeit. Oh my gosh, all those F.
Oh, yep.
Force the first forfeit. And we are looking at a quarry. We're going straight into a quarry, which means Limbo now with the upper hand. Already a 1-0 in Limbo's favor. NOC are going to have to take this out of the ballpark. We'll give the go ahead. Both teams getting ready to go. We're going to get this show on the road.
Oh, Hodge
Single team chat.
just signaled us that he thought the team thought it was over and was trying to get them back in.
Well, I'm glad he was able to get that back in. We're going to get started.
All right.
Limbo versus NOC. Second map. Domination. Here we go.
Here we go.
Match starts.
Let's see
in
these rollouts.
2, 1, go.
Oh, interesting.
Red
NOC
takes A.
taking a really long exit out. Wow, I don't think I've seen a team take the right approach outside of their spawn. That's something very new.
Yeah, I was about to note
Blue takes
how Tally used the right door instead of the left one. The left one being most commonly used, but
You've got plenty of time in that first point to
Red
take the
takes
left. I don't know
C.
why you would take the right, but you know, maybe there's something I'm missing there.
Blue takes C.
I don't know. Something I'm missing.
Red takes C.
perhaps.
You know what? I don't have game sounds on. Oh my gosh, hold on.
Blue takes
I was like,
C.
something's missing here. But early on,
Red takes B.
Limbo with possession of B. Hannah coming in trying to get some picks, but he'll go down to the 2 Limbo defenders. Spud with a double pick. And barely surviving. Oh, double dashing left and right. Countdown for Limbo. Barely survived on NOC. They will hang in there.
Yep,
That was a close one. Limbo putting a lot of pressure on early.
indeed.
Red team
Looks like they got another countdown. But gets countered by Bugahud. Bugahud now making his way to B.
Red team counter.
Looks like another counter for NOC. Because there was a countdown for Limbo. But it looks like they lost control of B.
Blue takes
Fast and missing the
C.
button. Gotta go back and secure that.
Assassin King making his way through tunnel. Does get taken out by Spud.
Red
A little
takes
bit unfortunate.
Gets
It's,
two.
it's always scary jumping around a corner and finding an opponent staring right at you. Muzzle's pointed.
Yep. Looks like they still have control of B. 2 Limbo members are in
Teams
the area.
establishing their positions and routes. Limbo in a better position though, and we're gonna get a countdown.
Countered.
Ooh,
Team
just barely.
countered.
Another countdown. Gets countered by Assassin King.
Assassin King. Assassin King getting frags and counters in their base. NOC are really struggling to get position here. I think they're still getting used to finding their routes and positions, which is interesting because they should be really warmed up. I've already played a core today.
Yeah, I was about to know.
Blue takes B.
They did play a quarry, so I was expecting a little bit more hyperactivity. but it looks like Limbo got the upper hand here.
Red team scores through counter.
Another Limbo countdown. Can they secure this one?
They lost control.
He lost and knock. Sassy King will get the counter or get the button at their own base and head back into the tunnel. Big battle with Tally will take him out.
Ooh. Does he get there big? No,
Spud
he gets
will
taken
get
out.
revenge.
Red takes B.
I think we can see Tally right back into tunnel. Very
Red takes
fast.
B. Red team countered. Red team
That was flat
That'd
track.
be like
countered.
Limbo's 6th countdown here.
Red team countered.
Alright, countdown for Limbo, but gets countered at B.
Red takes B. Blue takes
Limbo doing a
B.
great job at getting control of B, but Knock needs to be pushing out more. Let's see. Oh, connection
Is
issues.
that some lag? Yeah, connection. Tally looking like he just jumped out of nowhere.
Countered.
And that might explain a little bit why Tally seems to be doing poorly. Tally, one of the stronger players in my opinion on this map. And of the players here today. Connection issues will solve the Limbo with a countdown. Only 2 alive. Are they gonna? And they do secured it with a button hold.
Round.
Mixture of not juice.
Renegade
And
was
first point going to Limbo.
Renegade
And I would
was
say
very,
well earned. Limbo
Renegade-
having multiple countdowns. Not surprised they were able to finally get it.
Yeah, Renegade just
But-
missed that button by a slight bit.
Red takes B.
Frags, however, still even across the map. It's really just that timing and coordination that Limbo has. They got them that first point. That's really all it takes on this map.
Blue takes B.
Yep. Team coordination is very important in this map specifically. As you need to be grouping up with your tunnel team, making sure you get that group push into the enemy's team.
Knock countdown,
Countered.
Oh, just barely.
but an easy double counter at B and Limbo's base. Big battle in tunnel here. Spud fighting it out. Takes out Assassin King and they're pushing up.
Oh, Dashall made a
Red
observation.
countered.
You mean
You know, that is a really... That's a good question. I'm not really sure who Renegade is.
They don't seem to be on the DL website.
They have a name change in game like this, it could be they're one of the registered players. They just were unable to change their name. Technically, and I hate being the technical person, but technically you have to use the registered name on the website in order to be eligible to play. Now there are exceptions if you let the board know ahead of time, maybe opponents, but as far as I know, there hasn't really been any communication on that front.
Red takes
So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Indeed. We can see Limbo now starting to get in control of B. Looks like they're pushing out into Knox space. Tally getting that dash, catching up with his teammates. Countdown for Limbo. Are they gonna get it? No, gets countered by God. Spud getting those dashes, managing them. Gets in a very intense 1v1 fight with Renegade. Survives it. Limbo is still in their base.
team scores.
Another Limbo countdown. Renegade's fancy moves there. Get the counter and a frag. And knocks out Tally. Renegade on fire right now.
Very fast
Wherever they are.
moves. Oh, another pick on Spud. Very nice. You can see some pistol sniping from Ali.
Blue
Gets the
takes
button. Gets the dash. Gets another in a 1v1 fight. Will he get taken out? He will.
B. Red takes
Ali
B.
manages to get him. Looks like he's grouping up with his teammates, getting control of Knox space now. Looking for that sliver of health.
Battle outside B. Tally needs to get out there and help his teammate. And he does. Hopefully not too late. Desperately trying to get some shots on, but Nacho survives on his own. Tally with a nice pick, saving his teammate, going for the second. Oh, but knocked both down. God, with a double. A godly play. Double staples. Oh my gosh. I've never seen that before. A double staple kill. And it just fed right into him with that on that rail. Wow. Little unfortunate for God. That was crazy.
I've seen a lot of stapler plays this season. Maybe
Yeah, that is interesting. Staples are usually considered one of the weakest weapons, but people have been rocking those staples lately. Who knows, maybe a comeback.
there was a countdown for Limbo, but does get countered by NOC. But Matt now
The
making
biggest benefit for staples is just how little recoil they have.
yeah.
Very little bullet spread. You know, where you aim is usually where most of the bullets go. The biggest problem, though, is the damage fall off. The fallout is atrocious. It was nerfed back in, I don't know, season 2, season 1, way back in the day. Main reason why, if at any range you try to use the staples, just not gonna work well. SMGs are where they're at. It's the better alternative these days.
Yeah, especially with the new buff that the Triangle Factory gave them.
Absolutely. And the recoil with the SMGs has never been that terrible, but I mean, compared to the staples are much better in that regard. Spud winning the battles here at B. God, however, still rocking the SMGs. Gonna try again. A really unique hold. He'll get a double with his staples, and that's another double frag with staples. Can he get a third? No, Kraken will end him from behind and help secure B.
Limbo's doing a pretty good job of getting control of B, but we can see the players like Renegade just getting that button back for NOC.
That's a fancy tag by Renegade. Securing B for NOC.
It's like
Now only with B, they've got to hold on to that base while Limbo has both theirs and NOC's base.
yeah. Looks like Limbo got the control of an NOC space, but not B. Oh, there's a
Limbo countdown.
Oh,
Looks like they lost B. Another countdown. 3 alive. 2 alive.
Another
With this
point.
B deep button hold. And that's it. Oh my gosh. Kraken with a kill and a deep button hold will secure the second point.
very
And it was an
nice
excellent, wow. Big shout out to Kraken. That was an excellent end for the second round.
nice hold.
Looking at scores right now, currently in the lead. Got Limbo Flat Dragon 26-23, top dragon on Limbo, and with a score of 6,000. NOC Renegade really stand out here, 31-18, and nearly a 10,000 point score. A lot of that, however, being to just button pushes. Maybe they need some more button holds.
Indeed. Button holding is a very powerful tool to use.
Yeah, you can spam that button all you want, but unless you get that final hold to secure the point, not going to see it register over into an actual win.
You can see that NOC's now trying to get out of their own base, getting into Limbo's base now. Bughead now in the tunnels, gets a dash, but does get taken out by Kraken. See his teammate following up, Renegade. Now in tunnel, perhaps waiting for his teammate to catch up, but there has been a countdown for NOC. You can see now that Spud and his teammate are now pushing through tunnels. Does get a pick on Bughead, but another countdown for NOC. Gets countered. You can see Tally now making his way through the tunnels. Whoa, that's an interesting spot. Does get taken out by Bughead, but there's this countdown for Limbo. Gets countered. You see that the B action is happening quite well there. Panda getting that pick. There's a countdown for NOC. Does get countered at B, but very intense. Looks like NOC has adapted to Limbo's playstyle. What do you think, Kastle?
sorry. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember if the first 15-minute buffer period and the would then mean a total map forfeit, or would it go to a second buffer period after? So, I'm sorry. What was the question again? I don't mean to ignore you.
It's fine. I was saying how NOC has adapted to Limbo's playstyle as they have gotten 2 countdowns at Limbo's base.
Red takes B.
And you know what? I would not be surprised if that was the case. Especially, I mean, the frag's definitely in favor of NOC. They just need to put them in the right location, get that aggression, put it more into B.
Red team counter.
We're getting a limbo countdown.
Counter.
Could this be it? NOC easily counters, but there's still plenty of limbo players outside of their base.
Yeah, we can see people like Spud making space for his teammates, but does get taken out by Assassin King, really living for his name.
Blue takes B.
Assassin King putting in the work here. So is Bugga Hug. 41-31 for him. Tally, though, taking him out.
Yeah. Looks like Limbo got control of B again. Now they're gonna make a push to NOC space.
That was a nice dash. Curving it vertically to get on that rail there. You see a push up by Limbo. They've got place. They've got space. Probably waiting for a tunnel group up.
Coordination is
Tally
key.
dashing back and forth. I've really liked the teamwork that Limbo has used. A lot of their fights have been making sure a teammate is present with them when they take the second fight. Love to see that.
Indeed, coordination is key to this map.
Yeah, that's a strategy you don't see people actively use. If you are, say, out, like for instance, if you're going against a stronger opponent, you want to make sure in every single encounter you have puts you at advantage. So trying to get a buddy system, get someone else to help you out. It's a meta that you see in other games as well.
Red countered.
Yeah, but looks like there was a countdown for Limbo, but gets easily countered by NOC.
Red team.
Oh, another countdown for Limbo.
Countdown.
Blue team.
Oh.
I know, countdown. Not briefly getting the counter, but looks like they'll
NOC just
lose it at Limbo's base.
looks like NOC just
Or
needed-
the opposite, actually.
Yeah.
They each had their own. They each had their own button.
Yeah. Looks like NOC got control of B again. Let's see how they're gonna use that to their advantage. It looks like they lost their base. Renegade getting those picks, but does get taken out by Kraken.
Countered.
Looks like there was a countdown for Limbo.
Blue countered. Red takes C. Red team scores.
See that there's a countdown, but does get countered B. Renegade getting the button back, taking the dash. Perhaps waiting for his teammate and getting health. Let's see what's gonna happen. He's in B. Gets in a fight with somebody. Does taken out by Not Juice.
Blue team.
There's a countdown for NOC.
Knock countdown. Only 2 live. Kraken Tally. Oh, Tally clutch counter B on the smaller window. Wow, nice job, Tally.
Nice one, Tally.
Keeping that point alive.
That was like barely under a second. Excellent save there.
Red takes B.
You can see that Limbo is starting to get control of NOC space again. I wonder how NOC is gonna set up their defenses now. Looks like Limbo got their button. Does get a pick on Assassin King. Gets backstabbed. It's like NOC.
Yeah, nice position. Flat Dragon taking out a spawn. He needs to move.
Countdown for Limbo. Gets counter at their base. Let's see if I Renegade got double SMGs. Oh,
Renegade focusing off of objective here a little bit, and I'm not sure what Renegade is doing. I really hope they're not turtling. Oh, and you know what? That's what it looks like they're doing. Looks like there's... Oh, no! Baiting! Oh, baiting the defense player. Whoa, whoa! Oh, my God. A little troll maneuver. Counter at the last second.
That would have been
Yeah, it looks like
detrimental.
Renegade is actually throwing,
Red takes A.
which, you know, 7 minutes remaining, 2-0. I could kind of understand why, but at the same time, man, you've got to still try. You're still in this. You know, every minute counts.
Ah, very unfortunate to see. Looks like Limbo won the mental game. There's a countdown for Limbo now. It's counter at B. Looks like they still didn't get their button.
Blue takes B.
Bahad making now his way through tunnels. Gets a pick on Kraken. Nice flick. Does get taken out by Flat Dragon due to having little HP. Oh, chasing kill. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Gets taken out by Assassin King. You see that there's two Limbo members at B.
Red team.
Another countdown for Limbo.
Team
Kraken was
countered.
all alone in their base. Maybe there is some team coordination. There's another countdown for Limbo, but it gets easily countered by NOC. Panda, nice movement. Will he manage to get the pick? Yes, he will. Very well done. Now he's gonna make his way to B. Perhaps getting that button and maybe waiting for a teammate. Does get taken out by Flat Dragon.
Red takes B.
We can probably see maybe another Limbo group up at B. Looks like he's waiting for a teammate. Gets a pick on Assassin King. I think his team is already pushing up to their base. But NOC just staying into their base, trying to protect it and make sure that Limbo doesn't get the point. Aw, Flat Dragon does get taken out by Renegade, but with double SMGs. Gets another pick on Kraken. This is a very steady defense, but we need to see NOC pushing up more into B and getting that control of both buttons. But Renegade,
It is definitely the definition of camping, which is not something you want to see in Dash League. And you know Renegade is also playing, taking out those double SMGs. That alone, in and of itself, is already delaying. Oh, and he's going to pull back with that dash pickup too. Not only is he sitting back, he's also taken away from his teammates. We don't even know who this player is. And I probably shouldn't speculate on a live stream, but part of me wonders if this is even an actual member on NOC's roster.
Maybe.
That being said,
Blue takes B.
Yeah, but from what we could see, that NOC has started to get control again as a team. Now there's three NOC players at B, but looks like Renegade is gonna pull back now, protecting their base. Does see the button. It goes.
Countered.
Yep, nice counter by Renegade. And we can see that he's doing okay at defending. I think he's starting to pushing up into B with his team, getting that more control. Does see a Limbo member. There's two Limbo members outside alley. You can see that one snuck in through subway. Kraken gets taken out by Bugahut. Bugahut now making his way into Limbo's base. Gets a pick on Towley. Nice pick. Very important one too. Gets control of Limbo's base.
Blue takes
And
C.
looks like there's a countdown for NOC, but gets countered easily by Towley,
Red takes C.
unfortunately.
I don't think Tally realizes that they lost their own base as he headed out.
Yeah.
We got 2.5 minutes left remaining. Limbo still up by 2 points. And assuming for some reason NOC could pull it back, they've got to get 3 points all under a minute each in order to take this map. Probably looking at finishing off with a Limbo win. And now they've lost their a 5th player, God, going out. God has left the building, and it is a power play in the last few minutes here. Limbo with a big opportunity to get this point if they can just muster up the last little bit of effort. Finish this out. Finish it out strong.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Maybe Limbo's gonna get that third countdown and getting the point, closing this game. There's a minute and 40 seconds left, so I wonder how this is gonna turn out. There's looks like Limbo's countdown got countered at their base. Spud getting behind those defenses, but gets taken out by Renegade. Double staples gets a countdown for Limbo. Gets countered easily by NOC. It's like Limbo is starting to make a group up from B. There's a countdown already. Gets countered by Panda. A minute left. Wonder what's gonna happen if
Last minute here. Still power play. Limbo trying to get that last point.
another countdown for
Well,
Limbo.
down.
Gets countered by
But they're not pushing out a B. We've still got Limbo players on B. I'm not sure why the whole team themselves. They may be just looking to run out the time, make sure they don't lose any other points.
perhaps that's maybe the strategy at the moment, making sure that NOC doesn't get any more countdowns. But we could see people like Assassin King trying to deny that from happening. Gets 2 picks on B. Looks like there's another Limbo member here. There's a countdown for
Last
Limbo
few
again.
seconds. 5 seconds. And that'll be it. This game.
And this match goes to Limbo.
Limbo. And Limbo will take it 2-0. Alright, let's look at those scores and see what happened. On Limbo's side, leading the way, Black Dragon 59-60. Not a lot of frags comparatively on Limbo's side, but a lot of points. 3 players going above 10,000. Top frag in though, Black Dragon 59. Spud, second frag at 53. Top score, Black Dragon. Leading the map, Booga Hud 70-59. Top fragging across the way, and they had a remarkable second map, but with the power play, unfortunate, unable to bring it back. Second fragging going to Renegade, closely followed by Assassin King.
Congrats,
All right.
Limbo.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate the way this all panned out. First map being a forfeit because they weren't able to get their 5th. Second map technically is a win by Limbo with the power play. However, with that name not being confirmed or official, there's a good chance it could be also a second forfeit. In which case, if that was the case, it's a two match forfeit on NOC's part, which means they now are under the board's mercy. So we'll have to see how all this pans out. In the meantime, for everyone that did watch and participate, I want to thank you guys for coming in and supporting Dash League Network. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to my man Speed over here. Thanks for joining in and helping out with the commentation. Really appreciate you.
No problem.
And yeah.
Any
Any other final words?
Yeah, very much enjoying the commentating for this cycle, and I would like to also thank you for letting me commentate for the 2 matches.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you here.
But with
All right,
that being
well,
said,
yeah, I guess let's go ahead and wrap it up. I've been Kastle, this has been Speed, and we've been Dash League Network. You guys have a good one.
all right, see you guys.